And then you get to a place where you want to do Rebirth. Are you doing that?
Yes, and I am in, I guess you can call it a rebirth. But the funny thing is during the entire time that I was caring for my grandmothers and even when they were transitioning, I was actually still working because I had a major commitment. We were on the verge of, I was wrapping post production on my first mini feature, the Lions Vision Productions Addiction Trilogy, and we had already scheduled to premiere the movie on December the 8th. And this was even before either of them had passed. So it was already scheduled. DCP was already in the working. We had already scheduled the theater, like everything was set for December the 8th. So even as I was going through this process with them, I was still meeting my work obligations through this most difficult time. So after my first grandmother passed, and then I was just focused on my other grandmother, I was working pretty much from her house still, but we were planning this. We were planning this premiere because that was important to me too. It was important because we had wrapped production on that project in 2021, and the cast had done so well. I wanted to make sure that I brought that project full circle, and full circle meant we had to premiere that movie. I had to premiere that movie for the cast, and it was a private premiere, so it was really just for them. But it was important to me that I brought that project full circle, and I did. It was bittersweet for me because I was really at that point. I was on the tail end of losing both of them. But I do what I do, and we had the premiere, and I really didn't take any time off work after that. I did a deep dive into work because the time that I had been caring for them, I hadn't been working, but I've always been writing. And so when I came back into the studio, it was time to produce content, and I think that for me that is my coping mechanism. It's throwing myself into work, and because I hadn't worked for so long, getting back to working on my dreams, because ultimately, what else did I have at that point? When you're a caregiver, your schedule is dictated by those that you are caring for. But the harsh reality for me was that all of a sudden I had this free time, or I had this time. And the only way that I could deal with that time was really to get back to work. So, yes, I jumped right back in right after the new year. And I was in the process of submitting for film festivals, so we had actually finished development on the Black Beauty series, and it's a series about Black women, about all of our glory, our style, marrying our style to our stories. And so we began production on that like right away because I had to have a pilot episode and proof of concept done by February the 28th. So I've been working ever since. In terms of my emotional piece, I think that I'm a work in progress always. I think I'm always going to be a work in progress because that loss is so great and so grave. It's not something that I think that there's going to always be a hole where my grandmother's sat, and that I don't think that'll ever change. So day by day, I pray every day for the grace for that day, and I do what I do what I know how to do, and that's to keep it moving and to keep it pushing forward. And I mean, I'm happy. I have happiness. I'll say that. My home life is great. My marriage is great. I have a wonderful husband. I'm progressing along in my business. Um, I have happiness. Am I happy? I don't know that I'm happy. I have happiness. I feel like as much as my grandmothers will want me to be happy, I still have some work to do. And I still have some work to do in just dealing with my loss. And I think that's forever work because they were forever my love, my grand loves. So yeah, I mean, I'm happy.